everybody, how you doing? I'm Pavs, a rising VTuber and artist, and today we're going to be doing some character design. Now, if you've never been to one of these before, essentially there are websites nowadays, very interesting websites, called like ThisShoeDoesNotExist.com. Now, what these websites do is that they generate an AI-powered image of something of your choice. Now, I know a lot of the more popular ones out there are like something like DALL-E Mini, but the ones I use for these kinds of streams, the one I use specifically is called ThisShoeDoesNotExist.com. Now, I use the shoe website because I feel like it kind of creates a very interesting color scheme. Shoes in particular tend to have a much wider range of colors than like jackets, coats, and everything. You can tell a lot about a person from their jacket and like what their kind of intent is, but I feel like shoes have much more flexibility in that regard. Not to mention it's kind of become a running theme, so I can't really, it's not good to rock the boat too much. So that's kind of what we do here. We go to ThisShoeDoesNotExist.com and then we create a character design based off of that shoe. So, yeah, I think that's about enough of a preamble that we need, so let's go to the working screen. There we go. Okay, yeah, I could be a little bigger, just a wee bit bigger. I'm allowed to be huge some days. Okay, let's see here. Browser, here we go. Okay, so this is gonna go to oh. Hang on. Okay, so I'm going to type in the website name, and we're gonna hit enter, and hopefully that'll spit out a very cool shoe. We actually got a really cool one last time, so I'm excited to see if they're going to continue the trend. All right, and come on, huh? That's kind of interesting, you know. This one is okay. This one first, I like the kind of form of it. You look like you should eat a leather shoe. You look like you would eat a leather shoe if times got tough. I mean, you'd have to boil it first. That's kind of how you eat leather stuff. As far as I understand it, you have to boil leather first, and that kind of softens it up into a leathery soup. I know that's how that one like platoon of Japanese soldiers in World War II got by for like years and years. They were on the side of the Nazis though, so fuck them. Alright, hang on. Copy image. 4,000 by 4,000 should be good. There we go. But hey, Leo, how you doing? Okay, expand that. Is that gonna be enough space? Let's bump up the size a little bit, vertically. Okay. How do I change? Okay. Existing? Fair enough. Yeah, I feel that these days. I recently got transferred out of a assignment that I was on at work, and right now I'm in this kind of limbo state where I'm basically kind of gone by the end of the week, so nobody expects anything from me, but I still have loose ends I gotta tie up. Thankfully I took care of most of that today. Yeah, feels good, feels good. There's still a few things left undone, but that's really beyond my power. Okay, so looking at this shoe, right? Like I said, I actually really like this shoe as well. It's not quite as abundantly cool as the one from last time, but it does have its own kind of like, I feel like it has a very distinct kind of charm. So, okay. Speak to me, shoe. Yeah, it's cute. It's really cute. Okay, speak to me, shoe. Okay, so it's got this little like thing down here. I'm not sure what you'd call that, like some kind of like soul flare. Yeah, cute, right? So probably somebody with like a lot of circles in their character design. Last time we went with triangles, so now I think we can go for circles. Really giving your girly pop vibes. I think that's kind of like what I was feeling as well. Kind of like strawberry milk or something. Okay. So... Okay. I'm trying to think here, like what kind of type I don't know how to put it, like it's not even body type, it's just kind of like the kind of general shape I want of this person. So okay, so thinking about like strawberry milk. Lovecore a little bit. I feel like this has like slight lovecore things. I don't know what else to call it. Like I don't know what other kind of aesthetic has quite as many heart symbols spammed into it. I'm actually kind of a fan of lovecore. I think like a lot of the clothing, I think putting little hearts on everything is actually pretty cute. Let's see. What else am I seeing from this thing? Like... So maybe like... Yeah, I feel like this is gonna be like round and also like I don't know how to put it, like flowy. I'll figure it out as more as I go along. But I've got kind of ideas about how to do this. Yeah, I feel like maybe almost like baggy jeans would go really well with this. Yeah, I feel like that's a little basic though. I feel like we can go with something more complicated. So what about... Oh, how you been? Pretty good actually, you know, like you know, I'm gonna be on vacation next week, so that's gonna be a good chance to kind of like recharge my batteries. I'm really looking forward to it. It's been a while since I've had like a proper break. No, that doesn't feel right. Yeah, the issue I think with this one is that I don't know kind of like how to... Are you going to that one place? Yeah, I am. I have to go there for some administrative matters, but I've already made a small list of things where I want to go. Well, I want to check out. Okay, so again, I know for a fact round phase. What about like... Okay, so... What about like... Okay. Going... Good luck picking up ladies' pabs. Thanks. Yeah, no, I don't know what to expect from my little adventure. I feel like I'm either going to have the time of my life getting lost on purpose, or I'm gonna get lost on accident and I'm just going to be so scared. It can go either way, really. I can have a good time getting lost in a city. It wouldn't be the it wouldn't be the first time I get lost on purpose, is the thing. Okay, so what about like... No, this doesn't feel quite right either. Alright, so... Okay, what about like... Huh. Okay. This might be something. Alright, hang on. I know this looks like absolutely nothing, but I've got an idea for how this is gonna look. Okay, so kind of like a little sun hat back here. It's not quite the right angle. Then... Probably like some kind of shirt, or maybe like a really oversized like Letterman jacket. I feel like that would almost be better. Yeah, this is a very feminine shoe, so I'm gonna give it to a lady. At least that feels right to me, at least. Okay, and then maybe like that. There we go. Kind of like this almost. This is such a wacky looking jacket. I'm actually kind of having fun just making it as absurd as I can. Okay, what about like... Okay, the problem is that with the Letterman jacket, this kind of feels incongruent is the thing. That's my issue with it now, is that with the Letterman jacket, it just does not feel right to have like the big sun hat anymore. Or like the big kind of like straw hat that I was picturing originally for this. I could also give her a backpack. No, that feels strange. I'm sleepy, so I lurk. Get some rest. Okay. Maybe like, what about like really highly hiked pants? That might be interesting. Wait, no, wait. I've got an idea for how I can do this. Alright. It's Miku's birthday, isn't it? It's like, I think August 31st is Hatsune Miku's birthday. I know that she has her own kind of day in March, but it is Hatsune Miku's birthday. Hang on. So, wait. Hang on, I've got an idea. I've got an idea for something. Now, I'm not gonna bullshit you, this is going to be dangerous, but it's something that I'm willing to do. Alright. Put this girl over here. Then... Okay, what else is there to do? So, actually that's really all we need, isn't it? Alright. Okay, so... Okay, so I think from there what we can do is actually like... Okay, so from there we can actually progress it a little bit more. So I'm trying to think about like what pants would be good for this. So I'm thinking like very thick kind of like bottom cuffs. Like I feel like all this has to be like extremely loose for it to work together. If that makes sense. Okay, then from there... Somehow having the hands look like that makes it look like they're balling up their fists, which is really funny. Okay. Okay. What if we made them like... Okay, so now we have like the basic idea for the outfit, but here is kind of like where we need to make things more interesting, because I feel like they almost need like a more kind of cohesive theme. So I just wanted to turn her into Miku, but I feel like we can do something else with it as well. So I'm almost getting like gangster vibes from this person, like she's a delinquent. Okay. Okay, so then what about like... Okay, what kind of hat would be good for her? I mean, you've got to have the huge twin tails, I think. That's gonna be like an important factor of this. Okay. Then you've got the kind of like shoes down here. Okay. Then... Kind of like that almost? I feel like I need to do like a second pass on this design. Like I feel like there's something here, but there's so much kind of noise in the background from all the ideas that it's just kind of not going well, I think. I feel like there's something here, certainly. There's something here that we can use, but I don't know how to draw it out best. Maybe shorter hair? There's something... May hair accessories would be good. What does her hair accessories look like? They're still like those weird little triangle things. Those are not triangles, those are squares. I should know better. These shapes should be second nature to me. Okay. So, again, feeling like we've got a good kind of thing brewing here. But I kind of want to figure out a way to make it even more impressive. What about... Okay, I'm going to copy and paste the design onto a different layer so that we can work on it some more without hurting the original. Hang on. I should drink some water. Oh yeah. Funny thing I did today. I got curious a little bit, right? I remember hearing somewhere about like the Battle of Marathon, right? And I was like, oh hey, I wonder if they named Marathon the sporting event after that battle. And it turns out yes. But there is also the fact that the kind of lead up to the battle and what actually occurred in it is so much funnier than I could have ever imagined. Alright, so picture this, right? You are Darius the First. Darius the Great, they call you. You know, not to toot your own horn. You know, things are going pretty good. You're pretty hot shit, alright? You run Persia, one of the biggest empires ever. Like, things are going pretty fucking good for you, my man. You are Darius the First. Although there is a slight problem that a couple of years ago, the fucking Athenians over in Greece basically disrespected you tremendously by helping these like people called the Ionians, I think they were called, revolt, which, you know, kind of really pissed you off because Athens isn't really that cool of a place. You know, Sparta is pretty good at like military stuff, but like, you know, Athens itself is just not very respectable. So you kind of get a little mad about it. You know, you maybe tell your servant to remind you, hey, remember Athens 3 times before dinner each day. Maybe you fire an arrow at the sun and call on Zeus to kind of like say that you're going to smite the fuck out of Athens. You get a little mad. You get a little you mauled a little bit. That's what happens. Then you go to Athens, you know, you have like 64,000 dudes. You have like so many, you have basically every ship in the world at your disposal. And you kind of go to this place to kind of just completely flatten it. And somehow, you end up losing 5,000 to 4,000 guys, 4,000 to 5,000 guys. The Athenians only lose like 112 dudes, by the way. Maybe you lose a couple of ships too, because the Athenians just have really fucked up your shit. And you kind of wonder how it came to this. Like, for context, the Battle of Marathon was essentially the equivalent of you getting bitten by an ant in your home. And then you like get really mad about it, and you like yell at the heavens. You like tweet about it, about how you're gonna kick over the anthill near your house, and then when you go kick over the anthill, you break your toe because the ants learned how to get into the phalanx formation. Man, drama just does not happen like it did in like the ancient societies, because fucking I was wondering about like what happened to Darius after that. He had a son, Xerxes. Xerxes was succeeded by another dude who got succeeded by a couple other dudes. Then the dude that succeeded them on the 4th or 5th time, I think, he got poisoned by one of the courtesans in the Persian nobility. So that's not great, and that courtesan installed his own son as a ruler, and then he had his own son poisoned because he was like, actually, you know what, never mind, I changed my mind. I don't want you to be a ruler anymore. Then this fucking dude named Darius III is like, hey man, you should probably stop poisoning people, and you know, he makes you drink your own poison, which, you know, puts a little bit of a stop to your plans to take over the Persian court. But them's the breaks when you're a professional hater, I guess. Okay. Okay, so I think having a design across the pant legs would actually be kind of good for this. So, may like something with hearts. May like a broken heart or something. That might be interesting. Nah, I feel like an entire heart would be nice. I wonder if there are any animals associated with hearts. I think doves, maybe? Let me look that up. Animals associated with hearts. I don't know if there's that many. Animals associated with hearts. I mean, most animals, I imagine, would be associated with hearts on account of, you know, having one. Animals with multiple hearts? Huh. Okay, apparently cephalopods, hagfish, earthworms. Horses have 2... Wait, hang on. Okay, horses. Now, technically, a horse only has 1 heart. However, there is a unique evolutionary trait that almost makes it seem as though it has 5. In order to move blood through the body and back to the head, you need muscles, but horses have evolved with no muscular structure but in their lower legs. Because of this, blood would be unable to return to the heart if it weren't for a unique trait. Horses have what is known as a frog in each of their hooves. The frog works to pump blood back up to the heart with every step the horse takes. As the hoof is placed on the ground, the frog expands when lifted, and when lifted, it contracts to move the blood. Huh. Using this unusual method of blood pumping, over a liter of blood can circulate through a horse's body every 20 strides. Jeez! That's a lot of blood. I'm not drawing a horse on there, though. I feel like that's weird. Okay. I still don't know if I'm going to commit to making this Miku, though. Maybe like a hat? What would be good, though? Some kind of like wide-brimmed hat? Maybe like a derby hat? It's weird how appropriate that looks, almost. A baseball cap would be my go-to, but I feel like that's kind of basic. Wait, what about like hearts with thorns? That might be interesting. Okay, yeah, that's a pretty sick image. Hearts with thorns on them. That's pretty cool. Then maybe a little strawberry up here. That'd be cute. Okay. I like this. I like the outline of it. I think we've got a strong thing kind of cooking here. But I kind of want to figure out a little bit more with the hair. Maybe I think making it longer might be the answer here. I like that I somehow managed to turn Miku into a pit fighter. This is going to be a great day for me, I think. Now, this is technically no longer character design, but I can repurpose this outfit for another character that I make down the line. So I feel like that, and I feel like this should probably be fine. You know, I'm still within technically the bounds of it. Yeah, I still can't believe how funny it is that like, how do you fuck, like, at the Battle of Marathon, how do you fuck up that badly? Like, it's one thing to kind of underestimate your enemy, right? It's another thing entirely to lose 4,000 to 5,000. Well, I mean, I'm guessing the Romans probably, like, not the Romans, the Grecians probably flipped the numbers in their favor a little bit, you know. They probably made themselves look a lot stronger than they actually were. That's the case with everything, though. Yeah, the historical account of this comes from this dude called Herodotus, and I don't know how much of a reliable source he is, considering he has a Greek name. You know, I feel like maybe you should take that with a grain of salt. Oh wait, what about a beanie? Oh shit, a beanie would really fit this. Or maybe some kind of sun hat or something. I think a beanie would be better though. Okay, so... Okay, so kind of like a kind of very pointed, like, looking down on you kind of expression. Okay. Do I have Sakura Miku still somewhere around here? I think I might have gotten rid of her by accident. Oh, that's fine. I'm pretty sure I can draw Miku from memory. Is this technically Hatsune Miku anymore? I don't know if it is. I feel like we've abandoned that somewhere along the way. The eyes don't look like angry enough is the thing. So I feel like almost like they need to be like angry for, like with this one she looks like she's just like disdainful, but she needs to be like actively angry, I think. It's time for her to choose violence. Man, I had to book I booked a taxi the other day, right? And it's fucking phenomenal to me just how much of a trust-based system booking a taxi is. So I booked a taxi through a website, and they sent me one email that went to my spam folder. No number for anyone or anything. Just the confirmation that I had booked it for, and for which time and for what place. No actual like pricing information either. And honestly, it just felt very strange. I don't know how, like, they didn't have like any kind of like email, or they didn't have any contact information on the email they sent me either. It was just confirmation that I had booked something. Nobody, no like saying like, hey, we'll call you when like the time comes or anything. They didn't have anything. They just like gave me sent me an email, said like, hey, remember that this is when you booked it, and then they just never talked to me again. I had to call them today to make sure that the booking was confirmed. Okay. It's weird that I started out with this whole thing kind of like going like very round shaped, and the thing is, right, with like round shapes, you usually associate those with like fun, bouncy, and soft characters, and now I've just made her an absolute thug. So you have to wonder like what happened along the way. Piercings too, yeah, we gotta get some piercings. I don't know when I exactly lost control of this situation, but I'm glad it happened. You know, I feel like this is much more interesting than anything a sane mind could have done. Okay. I feel there's something like very unsatisfying to me about like where I'm placing the twin tail. Like, I know it's got to go on the side of the head, but it doesn't make sense with a hat at any way. And like if it's all the way down here, it feels weird as well. So maybe like don't think about the hat too hard. Okay, so think about it rationally. It'd start around here. Here too. Okay. So now we've got that, but like we still need a hat, so maybe like I really gotta get like a reference picture of Miku. Hang on. Okay, she doesn't have any like kind of like of those like hairs that stick up on the top of their heads. No use overthinking it too hard, I don't think. The problem is like I don't know what other kind of hat I would give her, and I feel like she needs a hat for this one. Like I said, I could try the baseball cap, but that still feels kind of weird. Maybe like a really tiny derby hat on top of her head. No, that's a little too ridiculous. That's a little too ridiculous. Okay. Yeah, I think like just giving her a tiny cow look up there is pretty, I think is going to be all we can do for now. Okay. I can work with that. Yeah, I feel like I just need to hurry up and do it. I feel like that it's going to be one of those situations where it's going to look better once it's finished. Overthinking it while I'm still in the planning phase is just no good. I always try to avoid giving characters like belt, like pant arrangements like this, because it reminds me a little bit too much of like the Animaniacs. You know, that one dude with like the huge pants that like go all that are like hiked way up. Okay, there we go. Okay. Okay, I think we're pretty much ready to start kind of like the final render of this, so... It still bugs me that she doesn't have a hat. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, it still bugs me that she doesn't have a hat on. What to do? Okay. In the meantime, why not like... How are we for time? We're about half an hour in. Still got about an hour and a half to go. I wonder if I set up like a... Hang on. If I set up like a drawing figure, I wonder if I have time to finish like a full-scale drawing. Okay. I think this is one of those situations where if I overthink it, I'm going to like lose immediately. Okay, so... Pose... Alright. Come on, figure it out. It has to look like not too mean, but it can't look too soft either. What's this one? Oops. I accidentally created a fight scene here. Oh, this one's interesting. Okay. So what I need to do is two things. One, I have to get the feet in the shot so I can draw the shoe. Okay. Wait, why is that all the way over there? You know what? I'm not gonna worry about it too much. It's no good to get concerned with petty things. Okay. Shrink that in a little bit. Or shorten this a little bit. Angle that just right. Okay. Let's do this. I'm feeling pumped. I'm actually happy. I'm actually very interested in how this is going to turn out. Well, it's not like I'm ever uninterested in how it's going to turn out. You know, I do my best to be invested in everything I make. But I feel like this one in particular is going to be kind of interesting to do. Okay, so before we start on the line art, we need to kind of figure out like the movement of everything. But that's going to be a fair bit easier than usual. Okay, so... Okay. Hands are gonna be a hike to around here. Like, they are hiked way up. Okay. This reminds me a little bit of that time I drew Miku as the guy from Yakuza 0. That was a pretty fun time. I should retweet that. Reblog. I'll bring it back some way or another. Okay. There we go. And then this way here. Okay, kind of like this. Again, kind of emphasizing the idea of like circles up here. Is that something? I don't feel like it is. I feel like I'll just do the normal kind of like slits, slit pockets here. On which side of do Letterman jackets usually have the symbol on the chest? I think it's on the right side, right? Yeah, it's usually on the... Oh no, wait. I guess that would be the left-hand side. Okay. Then... Okay, there we go. Okay, I think I've got an idea for the sleeve here. There we go. Okay. Cool stuff. Okay, then from there... Okay. I need to remember to draw in the shoes, or else I'm going to be very embarrassed. You know, it's going to be embarrassing for me. Okay, I need to make the jawline a little bit lower so she can be, like, yelling. Okay. I'm trying to figure out, like, what kind of shape the mouth would have here. Okay. Feels good. Okay. almost a little long, actually. Hang on. Transform it like this. No, I need to do it the opposite way, like... Okay, yeah, that's starting to make more sense, a little bit. Maybe like the nose a little bit higher, almost? Yeah, I think that's about right. Okay. Thankfully, I think this pose came from like a set of idol poses or something, so they all kind of like are vaguely grasping a microphone. It's gonna make my life a lot easier, though. Okay. Okay, and then for the twin tails here, I was actually thinking about like putting them up in like almost like rose buns. I guess that wouldn't really make it Miku anymore then, would it? Well, something like that. I'm still allowed to... I think it's like a little bit of a Schrodinger's Miku situation. I'm allowed to say it's Miku if I want it to be. I'm allowed to say it's not if I don't want it to be. Plausible deniability, that's what you need. You know, I keep telling people, you gotta be able to flip-flop between being able to say your character is 100% and 0% based on Hatsune Miku at any given time, and that way you create that kind of flexibility and alibi for yourself. I've always said this. I should drink some water. Okay. Then this way down here. And actually, maybe I can even go like one step further and also have like the twin tails kind of whipping in from that angle. Yeah, okay. Alright, and then we gotta go for the shoes. You know, this might be an interesting thing to do, you know, like make just an outfit based on shoes. That might be interesting in its own way. I've decided to get back into the habit of making like these, you know, I know usually I just kind of like hop directly into inking right after I establish like the shape, the pose for the model and everything. At least I think I started doing that a little while back, I'm not sure. But I've been trying to go back to like having like using the model only for like the pose reference, so like to make sure that everything is kind of like working as it should anatomically, and then kind of doing my own thing once it comes to like the line art and everything, because I feel like that's just more, that gives me a little bit more leeway, and I can always refer back to the model if I'm feeling like the perspective's a little wonky or something. Okay. Okay, and then what about like the heart shape down? Now the heart shape would probably come like around here. Something like that. Okay. So if we move these two down just a little bit, and a little to the left, okay, at the hand, there we go. Gotta add the little fingerless glove as well. I haven't forgotten about that. Man, I'm also feeling a little sleepy. I haven't been sleeping well these past few days. Today I had one of those days where you like wake up in the middle of the night and then you like can't go back to bed until it's like 2 hours later. So in total I had about 5 hours of sleep. Which is not ideal under any circumstances. That might also explain why today felt like a weird kind of day at work, but I feel like I feel like I need to make up for that today. I feel like I gotta like go to bed at a reasonable hour today. I can make it back. I just know I can. Okay, hang on. Holding a pen case? Yeah, I'll take it. Oh, hold an umbrella. It's probably even better. Hold a light bag. Clench. Hold an egg. Man, there are some specific hand gestures in this what do you call it? In this program. Handshake, hand gesture. What about this one? Yeah, I feel like maybe a microphone might be a bit much. No, a microphone feels right though. Grab a strap. I don't know. I do wonder if there might be like any kind of a... Yeah, it's very strange that they have like a bunch of poses where they have like a hand grabbing the microphone, but none of them... Yeah, I feel like this is probably the closest one that I've got. It's got a tight grip. I feel like that's gonna be the one that I want. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Wait, I know exactly what this needs. Heart-shaped sunglasses. And thus my brain becomes enormous once again. You really can't go wrong with heart-shaped stuff, honestly. Okay, there we go. Okay, and there we go. I wonder if there is such a thing as a microphone with like spikes on the side. I imagine there are, but I don't know like if that would actually mess with like the audio quality or anything. I imagine if you believe hard enough in the soul of the music, it won't do anything, but it's fine. Okay. Then putting this back down here. I also do like how I just tend to bite off way more than I can chew with my projects. I just keep escalating. Like, oh yeah, I think we have time for this. Narrator voice. He did not, in fact, have time for this. I wonder if that button still works. I remember I set it up for the Kerbal Space Program stream, but I don't know if that still makes my voice sound like I'm speaking through a radio microphone. I hope it does. Always liked that voice effect. I always thought it was very cool. Okay. Okay, kind of front teeth around, right around here. Making sure that it does not... Yeah, I think the problem with this mouth is that I put it like... I feel like this face is going like 3 different angles. I think that's the problem. So I need to make the mouth at a more neutral angle. You can see that the face is like just slightly, ever so slightly tilted over in this direction. So I actually need to put it like almost like in the opposite way of where of the way I was going. Okay. Okay, carefully. I feel like I've been getting slightly better at making like anime style kind of like eyelashes and everything. I'm feeling pride. That's a point of pride for me. I feel like I've always struggled to deal with those, but I've been getting better at them recently. Okay, there we go. And okay. Yeah. I struggle at drawing straight up cute things, but when it comes to cute things being badass, that's when I come alive. It's good to have that kind of self-awareness about my own strengths and weaknesses. Well, no, if I try to draw cute things, I think I'll probably succeed. But like I said, it's not like I come alive when I do that. It's not like I feel glad to be able to make art. Not like with this sort of thing. Okay, there we go. Huge old earring. Trying to think here. Yeah, I think not worrying too much about the hair should be fine. Okay. Man, I kind of want to watch a Columbo episode today. Sometimes I have access to a couple of Columbo episodes, so sometimes I'll just like sit back and watch it while I like work or something. And it is... Soothing isn't exactly the right word, but it's always such a memorable experience because it does feel a lot like I'm just watching a nice little murder mystery movie. Except I know for a fact that the murderer is gonna get his ass caught being an asshole. Okay. You know, having that kind of uncertainty taken away from the whole ordeal is actually kind of, it's almost more liberating, I think, than not knowing who done it in the who done it, you know? That being said, I still do enjoy like a good mystery movie. I feel like everybody does to some extent. You know, I know a lot of people loved Knives Out, even though they weren't huge like mystery people. Mystery people, I say as if though they're like people who are also mysterious. Yeah. I hear that it's unhealthy to fall into like the mindset of, you know, it's just 3 more days until the weekend. But I feel like in this case, I'm kind of justified in that this week has been an eternity and a half for the old Friday Chief. I don't know what it was about it. It's just been exhausting on every potential front that I could think of. So I'm glad that I can kick back and do something casual like this. Okay. Then over here. Perfect. Adding little spikes to things can do so much for a design, I think. Sincerely, I feel like we don't credit little spikes on stuff enough. You know, as much as I'm a big, like, you know, put hearts on stuff guy, I'm also a big put spikes on stuff guy. Like, just put a couple on there. Live a little. See what happens. I mean, probably you'll get poked. That's probably what'll happen. That's not too much of a mystery, I don't think. But nevertheless, you fail to see the larger mystery at hand, which is, does it not look cool? And undoubtedly, the answer is almost always yes. You know, sometimes it does feel like maybe they're like trying a bit too hard, but I feel like, you know, I feel like that almost means you haven't added enough spikes. It's one of those problems where like quantity is also quality. So if you added like a couple spikes here and there, it's gonna look bad, all right? It's gonna look like, you know, you just added a couple spikes here and there. But if you add like a million little spikes, well, now we're playing a different game, you see. How's that neck looking? Okay, like this. Okay. There we go. Perfect. Okay, then we're just gonna kind of finish off the tank top up there. And then add the little thing from the bomber jacket. I know these things in Japan are also occasionally called stadium jackets. I've always thought that was like a pretty interesting name. Like, it makes sense, right? They're the kind of jackets that people who go to stadiums frequently wear. I mean, frankly, I think it makes much more sense than the gringo term Letterman jacket. Like, outside of the context of sports, it doesn't make sense what a Letterman is. I've always imagined it's because it means that it's got letters on it. I thought that was what it meant. Like, that's what Letterman jacket meant. I don't freaking know. I'm a bag of rice. What do I know about fashion? He says, having designed an entire outfit himself. Okay. Connect those. Then over here, like so. Little wider. Gotta go a little wider on the curve. There we go. Yeah, again, not super overthinking stuff right now. Or actually ever. How are we for time? We've got about half an hour. We've got about an hour left before I gotta start wrapping up. So let's speed run this a little bit. Okay, kind of like that. Okay, like that. Yeah. Whenever I worry too much about, like, you know, whether my clothing makes sense or anything, I just think, one, people are barely going to pay attention to that. You know, unless I do like a super detailed job of it, people are barely going to pay attention to that. And two, I feel like it's almost like if you overthink on, like, I think that's a lot of my problems, is that I overthink. You know, I'm like, oh man, will I be able to finish this? Will I be able to finish this in the time? And I feel like if I worried a little less about that and just kind of stuck to one idea, you know, I feel like that would almost make me even faster than I already am. Because let's be real, knocking out a full color piece in 3 hours isn't exactly anything to sneeze at. You know, I know a lot of live streamers do that, but I feel like it still spares to say that that is an absolutely absurdly low amount of time that it takes to crank out a full color piece. Well, more like 4 hours, but still. Technically, I'll be doing it in 2.5 because I've started like an hour later than usual. Much to think about. Okay, then from there... Okay. Okay, then like that. Okay, very good. Okay, and there we go. Where's your thumb in all this? Oh, I see it now. Okay. I was gonna say, hey, I lost her thumb. That is the worst phone call to receive from your responsible friend, you know, like, you lend them your thumb for like half an hour, and then, you know, you get like a ring on your cell phone, and like 10 minutes later, you see the caller ID, and you're immediately worried, and you're like, what happened? And they're like, I lost a thumb. And you're like, you what? I lost a thumb. And like, oh, come on, I told you this is why we can't trust you with digits and fingers. It becomes like a whole conversation, you know. There's a little bit of some in there that never really goes away. Because you lent your best friend your thumb. Which is a thing that is both normal to do and possible to achieve. I feel like it'd almost be too... I feel like it'd be cool if like you could swap body parts with other people. I feel like you like being able to just be like, hey bro, can I borrow your arm for a second? And they're like, sure, and they just give you their arm for like a minute. I feel like we should be allowed to do that. I feel like we should be allowed to be like Lego minifigures in that way. Even more than Lego minifigures, because I'd technically be speaking about a place where you can also like attach a third arm to yourself at will. So what would be that? What would that be like Spore or something? I know very little about Spore, considering the sheer amount of hours that I've put into it as a kid. And I feel like I should be better versed in its history, but I'm just not. I really couldn't give a damn. I have to make like I have to fire up Spore one of these days. I'd love to make a cursed creature for my followers and friends. I could make Benji, the bug from, what was that, Monday? I think it was Monday, yeah. What a cute little guy, honestly. I'm glad I made him. Head of an insect. Body of a slightly different insect. This is the organism known as Benji. He ended up looking more like a praying mantis than anything else, which is an interesting twist. This shape reminds me a little... Ha! Didn't forget that I have, like, shape tools now. Another win for the Friday Chief. Okay, gonna, like, shift this over here. Nope, wrong thing. Wrong lever. Okay, and then there's one for redraw vector line width, right? I am so genius. Okay. Then from there we can probably add the like details to the microphone later. We don't need to worry about it too hard right now. There we go. Okay, get rid of this and get rid of that. Perfect. Okay, then from there we need to kind of increase the decrease. I don't know why I'm so obsessed with that phrase. I heard it one time from a Tumblr post, which was about 3 additional gifts away from being completely incomprehensible to any known language. And I just think about it sometimes, like decrease the increase or increase the decrease. I almost feel like that's one of the those famous like mashup or like YouTube poops or something. The one that I can almost recite from memory is friggin' the... I can't recite it from memory, so to speak, but I do remember it very clearly. The friggin' Breaking Bad season 3 remix. My daddy and my mommy and my daddy and my mommy, my daddy. It's just such a good video, honestly. The production values, the musical cues, the showmanship put into it. Absolutely top notch. Does the sleeve make sense? I don't care. It is absurdly baggy, and baggy clothes behave in ways that are unknown to both man and beast. Except for the dogs who are forced into ugly Christmas sweaters. Those things understand fabric like no other creature in existence. Their torment is infinite, and I understand their pain constantly. I wish I had an ugly Christmas sweater. I feel like I would rock one of those without... I feel like I would be really good at wearing ugly Christmas sweaters. I feel like I'm the type of person who would find an ugly Christmas sweater, then buy like 5 more so me and my friends could match, and we'd all look miserable. But we would be miserable together. You just me like cornering one of my friends, like holding the clothes hanger with the Christmas sweater on it, absolutely menacingly, and be like, "Come on, man, chill out. It's gonna be twinsies. It's gonna be fantastic." And they'd be like, "Get out of your fighting stance first." Yeah. I've always wondered what it's like to have like relatives who like knit and everything, because my grandmother wasn't really a knitting kind of lady. like neither of my grandmothers were particularly into like textiles or anything. Yeah. Maybe I should become the grandmother who's good at knitting in my family. I feel like somebody needs to fill in those shoes at some point. How hard, like, okay, I'm not gonna underestimate knitting. I know for a fact that I will get really lost with the kind of like clickety-clack movements of the needles? Right, knitting needles. Those are what they are called. I feel like I would get lost with those movements very easily. I feel like I can enter the zone very easily, but the problem is that I can't do like a repetitive movement or rhythm too easily. How do I put it? Like, I can do things like if I'm very good at losing rhythm, I think is the way to put it. Like, if I start overthinking it or underthinking it, I just lose rhythm immediately, which is why I'm not great at rhythm games. I try my little hard out, I do, but like, you know, sometimes it's just not meant to be. Okay. There we go. Okay, and like that. Perfect. But man, I spoke earlier about how I was like reading up on the Battle of Marathon earlier, and it really, you know, you think like, sometimes you think about like how some people talk about like Western culture, and you're thinking like, okay, these blowhards are surely overselling it, but no, that's just how they've always been. Like Isaac Newton was like really talking up like the Greeks and everything, and they were like English civilization, blah blah blah, and you kind of just notice that there's like this whole colonizer thing kind of going on infinitely. It really just feels bad to read. Again, though, totally worth it to see just fucking Darius the First absolutely mauling because the Athenians figured out the hoplite phalanx. It's like that horse in the hospital bit. Like, so the Grecians know the phalanx formation. Interesting. I didn't know they knew how to do that. Yeah, from what I could understand, the reason that it threw the Persians so off guard that the Greeks knew how to do the phalanx formation was because the Greeks were fighting each other all the time, and they knew the phalanx formation because that's just how they fought. You know, that's just kind of like what they did. And then like the Persians come in with all their fucking trimeres and shit, and they're used to fighting a different way. So the Grecians who are, how do I put this? It's like if you were playing like House Rules Monopoly your whole life, and you got to be really good at House Rules Monopoly, and then the World Monopoly Champion came to your house, but they were playing by a completely different set of rules. So they're obligated to play by your house rules. That's kind of like the kind of situation that the Persians found themselves in, essentially. Yeah. What was that saying? Like a master swordsman isn't that scary because like they're predictable, you know, like they know what they're doing, but like somebody who's like a complete novice is terrifying to people who are like trained with swords because you have no idea what that idiot's gonna try and do. I think it's a little bit of that going on. The heavens tremble when a fool comes up with an idea. Okay. You know, that trembling could also be laughing, though. Like, just because it's stupid and it works doesn't mean that it's not stupid is the thing, you know? Like, if you manage to stop a boat from sinking by plugging the holes in with cork, I don't feel like that makes the act any less stupid than it actually is. I feel like that just makes it, you know, work. Like, stupidity is not an inherently negative quality, it's just the way something is. Okay, then like that. Okay, and then like that. Okay, and then kind of like that. Kind of like that. And then, you know, big ol' kind of cuff down the bottom. Just kind of nice and loose, you know? Not really overthinking it or anything. Drink some water. I should time the periods between when I say I should drink some water to see if like I have like a regularly maintained schedule, if it really is like just at random. I feel like it's like once every 20 minutes or so, maybe once every half an hour. I just suddenly go like, oh my god, I need to drink water right now. I don't know what it is. I'm talking about how hard the Persians got spanked when they try to fight the Grecians makes a man thirsty. Yeah. Like, what I cannot emphasize enough is just how bewildering this must have been for the Persians, because like losing like 5,000 dudes is like nothing to them. Like, they were the biggest empire in history at that point. So, you know, they lose a couple boats, whatever, we have literally all the boats on Earth. But just how fucking bewildering it must have been to kind of like waltz up to this colony which you had no... Because like up until this point, the Athenians were basically relying 100% on the Spartans for their military might. You know, that's actually where the name Marathon came from, for the sporting event, because like the whole thing was that this dude Philippides, I think it was Philippides, nuts. Anyway, Philippides ran 200 and something kilometers in 2 days to basically go to Sparta and be like, hey guys, they're really fucking up our shit over at Marathon, could you like come and help? And the Spartans were like, we're kind of having a religious holiday over here, so like, sorry bro. And then he had to run all the way back and tell that to the Athenians, who were already well on their way to just beating the absolute shit out of the Persians. And then he had to run back to Marathon to be like, hey guys, we're actually winning. And then he died. You know, weirdly enough, they didn't go for the full 250 kilometer run. They went for the shorter run between Athens and Marathon, which was 40 kilometers. 42-ish kilometers, really. Now, I feel like the way it was before was a lot better. But yeah, the dude who ran the first marathon, so to speak, actually ran 250 kilometers first, which makes it quite a substantial bit more impressive than plain old 40 kilometers. Granted, I can't run 40 kilometers, so I don't know why I'm talking shit, but... yeah. I could walk. Walking 40 kilometers is well within my means, but like running... I've never been a runner as a thing. I'm just kind of naturally very heavy. You know, I'm a man of gravity. So running doesn't exactly come natural to me. You know, I know that's not an excuse to not try, but I did. The thing is that I did also try. I was in track and field and team in high school. As you can imagine, my fortes were the field rather than the track. Yeah, I came in dead last every single time. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. But hey, them's the breaks, you know? like the thing is, right? I was going up against kids who had been training like their entire high school careers for running, and I was like, what, some chubby kid who was training for like 2.5 months at most. I mean, granted, it was twice a week for 2 months, but even that's not like particularly impressive compared to what some of these training regimes do. So, you know, I feel like that's only fair. Yeah. I mean, granted, it's hard to be passionate about running when you literally feel like you're dying every time you run. Yeah, our coach made us run in like the driest season, so what ended up happening is that I could like feel the inside of my throat getting torn up every single time I ran, because like when you're running and breathing and heaving and like that, right? You end up like swallowing a lot of air, and if that air is particularly dry or has a lot of particulate matter, that ends up shredding your throat a little bit. I seem to be the only dude with this problem. I was also the only kid who got shin splints the entire track and field semester, so I had a lot of, you know, I didn't exactly take home a prize for being for my athletic prowess, but I definitely took home the prize of being the most easily fucked up by just exercising. And you know what? That's a badge I will wear. You know what? I'll take it. You know, you got to be number one at something. Okay, then over here. Yeah. I think the sport that I enjoyed the most out of... Yeah, I tried to get into a couple different sports in high school, mainly because, like, you had to do a sports elective, otherwise you, like... Not even an elective, you had to do a sports extracurricular each semester, or else they didn't let you move on to the next grade. Which sucked, but hey, it got me out of the house at least. Okay, and then this is gonna kind of like have a triangle up over here. There we go. And then from there, I'm still questioning if I should have the heart on the top sole or in the back sole. I feel like the back sole is almost better. Then what should be in the front sole? Just more like maybe more of these like little lines? I feel like that could work. This heart needs to be flipped. There we go. And, you know, maybe if we just kind of like surreptitiously, you know, kind of like get this thing right here, and then maybe just kind of drag it on. Oop. Drag it on over to the other side here. God, it's good to be the Friday Chief. I'm gonna keep that title, you know. I started it as a bit, but like I'm actually kind of feeling it nowadays. You know, Friday Chief, it's got a good ring to it. I like how the pants are just so absurdly baggy, and then they just like end in these little cuffs. It's nice. I feel like it looks good. You know, some fashionistas may disagree, but thankfully, I don't care. I think it looks tight as fuck, and I'm keeping it. Okay, and then... How are we for time? Got about half an hour left. We can do some flat coloring on this bad boy. Okay. Okay, this might be a little trickier to do. So I gotta do the hair like little rose petals, but that also means kind of interrupting them like so. So I gotta be very careful the way I build these up. These almost remind me of those like Princess Leia ringlets. Would those be called ringlets? I think they're called like donuts or something, like hair donuts or something. But yeah, then the rest of the hair would kind of like sneak on out surreptitiously from this side. Sometimes when you draw Miku's hair, you just gotta ignore physics. That's just how it is. I feel like it'd be very funny if from now on I just did a bit where like every time I did one of these like character design streams, I would just like start out like, okay, yeah, this totally isn't gonna be Miku this time, guys, and then I just end up drawing Hatsune Miku and I'm like, ah, well, can't be helped, I suppose. Yeah. The prestige of the Miku. Okay. Okay, and then like this, and then like so. Okay. Now, again, this hairstyle, hair buns? Yeah, that's the ones. That's the one, hair buns. I can't believe I forgot hair buns. Hey, Andela, how's it going? I saw you were playing Fallout earlier. How did that go? I remember when I played that, I played it with the Jinx trait, and it just went... It was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun with the Jinxed run. Let's see... Got killed by Deathclaws a bunch. That'll happen to you. Yeah, was that your first playthrough, or are you like more? Have you played it before? Man, that took a lot of effort to say. I wonder what happened there. God, I remember we lost Dogmeat in one of the dungeons, and I felt so sad. I wanted to clear the game with Dogmeat on the team, but it just wasn't fated to be, I think. Alas. Okay. No, but I haven't played in about 7 years. Okay. Yeah, that'll do it. No, but that's good though. It feels like, I feel like if you don't play a game for that long, it's almost better because then it feels like you're coming into it with fresh eyes. How's the stream going? It's very chill. I started out making like a character based on this shoe right here, but it ended up turning into Miku since it's her birthday. Yeah, I gotta pay my dues to the big lady. Yeah, this isn't any official outfit, but I just kind of like came up with it, and I think it looks very fun. So I'm having a good time. Looks great. Thank you. Okay, and why did I forget how to draw the huge rose hair buns just now? Come on, bud. Come on, brain. I know we got this. I don't think these look so much like rose petals, but I'm just gonna... I think I can take a little bit of artistic liberty with that. You know, I think it would be more obvious from the sides, but unfortunately that's not possible in this scenario. I'm willing to live with that though. I feel like we've accomplished quite a bit just like this. Geez, though, like imagine how long the hair must be to be able to do this kind of thing. I mean, granted, they could just be like hair extensions, but still, goddamn. Okay, we're just gonna go ahead and copy and paste that line so that I don't have to risk drawing it twice and getting a little bamboozled. Okay, and then kind of like that. Yeah, I feel like one of the benefits of using vector layers for this kind of thing is that you can do a lot with them. They're extremely powerful, but also if you lose track of your lines, you're gonna end up having a bad time. There we go. Last little bit done. Oh, oops. I forgot that this is supposed to go behind the jacket. Might be. Okay, and then we just kind of like drop them off like that. Pop, pop, watch the twin tails drop. There. Gotta be a little bit higher. There we go. Okay. And I think all that's left is to draw the pattern on the pants, and then we can get the coloring. Okay. So from there, actually we'll need the reference layer back. Okay. Man, shout out to the dude who invented the shape of the heart. I found out that the original symbol for the heart was actually a pine cone, since that's what people like. You know, if you ripped a heart out of a human body, that's what people thought it looked like. It looked like a pine cone. And that actually was like a romantic gesture in a lot of paintings. That was like a romantic motif, that a dude would just be offering the lady a pine cone, and that would be like a gesture of affection. Then some absolute unnamed hero started drawing them like the shape that we know of today. And, you know, that kind of got into vogue. Probably because it's a lot easier and a lot less, like, piney than a pine cone. And from there, it just got plastered onto everything. There we go. Yeah, it's really interesting how a lot of like stuff around like Valentine's Day was actually like an attempt at syncretism from an older Roman holiday, where people would kind of run naked in the streets, and you know, it was kind of like a blessing for marriage or something. I think it was. Not gonna lie, as fun as that sounds, I think I'm a bigger fan of the chocolates and hearts. You know, it's hard enough worrying about your crush when you don't have to worry about some dude wearing nothing but a wine stain and a smile runs around the streets. Although, granted, I feel like maybe that'll take off a little bit of pressure. You know, you're having a struggle with your crush, but hey, that guy seems to be having a good time at least. You know, it puts stuff into perspective. Yeah, I don't know what it is with like figures associated with like you know, like Cupid is also supposed to be buck naked, right? I just wonder what it is with like figures associated with love and just being in the buff. I feel like I could kind of see a connection, like a tenuous connection, but like it just still feels a little weird. Okay. And then I actually think I could probably just copy and paste this back part of the line here. No, no, I cannot. Oops. Too much erasing. Too much erasing. Go back a little. Oh, this works. Come on. There we go. Okay, we gotta just align what's here and there. Connect vector line, connect vector line, connect vector line. Okay. There we go. Okay. Then like that. Oops, not like that. How are we for time? We can get some flats done. I believe in myself. I choose to believe in myself for that much. I just gotta really step up the pace with the spikes, that's all. Man, I've been listening to a lot more Deco 27 recently, and I am loving my life. Mannequin, like the album Mannequin in particular, just has so many fucking bangers on it that I've just been listening to a lot. It's like one of those times where you find your new favorite song and you know that you have to limit the number of times that you re-listen to it, because otherwise it's going to get stale too fast. That's what Mannequin is to me. That's what the whole album to me. Yeah, I also like Ghost, but Mannequin has way more like songs that I just cannot get enough of. Okay, and there we go. I wonder why I never went for like a plant-based themed. I feel like it would fall kind of right into my lap, given that I'm, you know, rice, and also like I've got a lot of green on me. I feel like it's mainly because I don't have any confidence in my gardening skills in real life. I'm a notorious plant killer. Yeah, the longest lasting plant that I've had in my care is this cactus that I bought like when I moved houses, I think. No, it was a little bit before I moved houses. And it's still kicking, I think. Pretty sure. It looks a little wilted, though, somehow. I don't know how I did it, but I seem to have managed to underwater a cactus. So, maybe that's probably why I've never gone for a more plant-based theme. I think I'd look nice in gardening clothes, though. You know, just like a little gardening outfit. I feel like I could rock that much. Can I like... Hang on, I've got an idea here. Alright, if I rotate this... I need to try and make this, like... more continuous, almost? This might take some doing, but I've got an idea for how to do that. Okay, and then flip this around. Yeah, I think that works. Alright, let me try this. Yeah, I remember I also bought like this one album called like Secret Eyes off of Bandcamp, which is also a Vocaloid album, but it was much more EDM based. Yeah, I don't remember which producer wrote the album. I just remember the name, I think. That might not even be the full name of the album. That might just be the name of my favorite track from the album. I really gotta keep a better track of like the different bands I've listened to. I remember the other day in V server they were talking about We Are the Union, and I was immediately like, I know those guys. Yeah, they're a very good band. Yeah. I think their album is called like Morbid Obsessions or something. It's really good. If you enjoy ska, give them a listen. Yeah, Big River in particular is one of my favorite songs right now. Okay. Okay, now we can get to the coloring. So I'm immediately thinking like deep red hair for these parts here. You know, kind of like a, obviously kind of rose inspired hair. Oops, I accidentally colored a part that's not supposed to be here. That's my B. Okay. I think this is going to be one of those situations where I essentially, like, where I'm basically shading stuff by... Oh, hang on, that doesn't make any sense. There we go. I'm shading stuff by just filling it in with slightly darker colors in certain sections. I feel like this is going to be one of those days. It's not necessarily a bad thing, though. If I do it correctly, it looks very stylish. I just need to make sure that I do it correctly. That green doesn't fit me, doesn't seem quite right. Okay, that feels a little better. Maybe even brighter? No. Brighter is not the way to go. Less saturated. No. Darker? Almost there. Almost there. Okay, this feels good. We might be able to do a little something extra with it as time goes on. Okay. Bright red gloves, I think. That 3 is a little long. We can kind of clip that a little bit. There we go. Yeah, that feels about right. Maybe a black shirt. Pink heart. Slightly different shade of pink. More like a magenta, I think. Okay, getting there, getting there. So, I'm thinking white pants. Okay. Should I make the trim on the Letterman white as well? I think that fits pretty well. Okay. Then from there... It's kind of hilarious how huge the sleeves are. I like it. No, not a green belt, I don't think. Well, we need to fill in the rest of these pants first. Did that get everything? I think it did. See, now the problem is that's almost too much white. Miku skin tone. Right, it's like around there. She's pretty pale. As far as I can recall. Oops. We can color mix that a little bit to make it more accurate. Or more interesting, as the case may be. Yeah, right now I feel like we just kind of need to get the general vibe down. Ooh, a couple of yellows thrown in there might be nice, actually. Need to make the bands for the other sleeves as well. This is coming along real nice. I quite like it. Okay. There we go. Okay, I think that might be... Yeah, I think that tone is slightly healthier. Okay, then over here... Okay, so I think like the soles are gonna be like this, and that the whole bottom is red, but then the off parts are, what would they be, like some kind of like bluish white to kind of contrast the pants reddish white? I feel like that works. Actually, why not make the whole thing red? There we go. Okay, and then from there... Interesting, okay. Got an idea from this. Yeah, it's a good thing that the white contrasts well enough like that. Okay, we can do that. A nice healthy pink tongue. What color should her eyes be? Just like bright pink? I feel like that feels good. Okay. Okay, then whites for the sclera. She almost looked like a Precure character, I think. I've never actually seen a Precure. I need to get on that, by the way, but let's see some Precure. But I feel like she has the vibe down. I love the color mixing on this. Blue is actually kind of nice. I actually quite like that. More towards purple or more towards red? Yeah, I think a little bit more towards red. Saturation... a little lower. Luminosity... a little lower as well. I think that's good. Okay, now we get to do the fun part, which is doing some wacky shit with the shading and coloring. So, the way I kind of intend to do this is by basically using tertiary colors. So, for example, this kind of lands around here on the color wheel, so I'm actually going to shade it with like a blue. And likewise for this one, it's kind of landed around here, so I'm going to shade it with like this color. No, that's not working. Okay. So I think the rule of thumb is that you either work it... Yeah, I feel like you either have to like go like with the exact same saturation and color value, but just like on a different side. I don't know, let me try that. Okay, interesting, interesting. This is all very promising. Also, I should probably be doing this on a different layer. Oh well, live and learn, I suppose. Is there anything else metallic I need to watch out for? No, I don't think so. Okay, we can use this for the insides of the jacket like this. For the moment. Yeah, another example would be this leg back here. This one we can kind of basically shade with all these colors. This is funky. It reminds me a little bit of like a Salvador painting. Salvador Dali painting. It's interesting, I like it. Never really tried shading this way before. Same color as the top part here for these. Actually, I'm gonna select the color gamut for the kind of Letterman highlights and also paint those that kind of like more drabbish. Does that work? I kind of want to work with. I kind of want to work that a little bit. Let's try that. Getting warmer, colder. Okay, I think that's kind of the... No, but that looks so gross. I'm just gonna keep it the way it was before. Okay. Then I also need to keep wary of the pant creases and everything, because those walls have to be shaded with a special color. I feel like I should have gone bigger on the vine, but honestly I don't think we had the time for that. I've been thinking a little bit. I kind of wanted to retry some of the pieces that I've made in the previous year. We're kind of coming up on my anniversary of streaming, so what I was thinking of doing is I was thinking I could have like a second go at some of the stuff to kind of see how I've improved year over year. That might be interesting. I feel like that would be a fun little thing to do. Okay, we can lop off the tail end of this thing right here. Although I don't think I'm going to be able to finish a couple of them that I did originally. Like, I remember the asbestos one took me like almost 5 hours. I don't think that one's going to be feasible in a single stream. Multi-stream, though, well, that's another matter. Yeah, I feel like we almost have to go in like geometric shapes. Okay, cool. Then a little bit more right here. And okay, right here too. Groovy. Okay, then the inside of this is bothering me. Should it be more purple? Maybe almost like a cooler blue? No. I feel if I overthink, it's over. That being said, I do kind of want to like maybe decrease the saturation on the green back here. I feel like that's a bit much. And also on the purple. You know, we're trying stuff out here. It's not always going to work, but it's better than not trying at all, right? Okay, then this part here is going to go like this almost, I think. Would it? No, I don't like how that looks. More towards red it is, I think. Or pink as it is in this case. Yeah, that provides a much better contrast. Okay, and that's gonna go in like that. I'm liking how this is coming together, I really am. Okay. It's so fun to do dramatic shading, honestly. More people should do it. Okay. Then from there, what else should be done? No, I feel like it needs to be a consistent color. Okay, so that's gonna go like... how exactly? Like this, like this, like this, and then this. Perfect. Okay, the blue here is really starting to bug me, so I really gotta find, like, something else. Works for me. Yeah, just kind of nudge it more towards purple, I think. I think that's the answer to it. Okay, and then... there we go. Cool. Yeah, also kind of doing that to this part here. Alright, and then lastly, a little bit here for the collarbone, a little bit here for the collar. Sans bone. A little bit here, a little bit there. Can't afford to be light-handed with this stuff. Okay. This too. It'll have to be completely covered by the shadow. Okay, and then this part too. Okay, and this part of... maybe just this part here, I think. There we go. How are we for time? Running a little over the clock, but I think that's fine. I think I'm learning something right here, and that's very valuable. Okay, and finally the hair. Now the hair is going to be a complex subject. So here's what I'm thinking. Different kind of shades of colors for each of the quote-unquote petals, right? Maybe almost like dipping into the blue again. No, if that was the case, then... okay, so kind of obeying my own rules, I would have to make sure that the ones closer to the head like this were on the darker side, whereas the ones kind of like this were on the lighter side. Maybe just no blue ones, I think. That might be the best case scenario. Yeah, maybe just kind of veering into the purple territory again, not quite hitting blue. Shame. I really wanted to try doing something dramatic with the colors, but I feel like it's just not working. You know, it's one thing to have an integrity, and it's another thing to, like, waste what could have been a perfectly good piece because of your bullheadedness. Okay. And then right here. Almost there. Okay. Cool. Okay, I think we've got like a decent kind of grasp of the colors here. Maybe just a little bit extra on the eyes here. Just that little bit of extra something something. It reminds me of this one Korean, what do you call it? Like a popsicle that's very popular. It's like a strawberry one. I don't know its exact name because I can't read Korean. But I do remember it's very tasty. Yeah, my favorite Korean ice cream was this one where we found at like this Korean grocery store near our house as a kid. It was like essentially these ice cubes that had like a syrup in them. Very tasty. Hey, okay, yeah, I think we're done with this one. Just gotta choose a background. Oh my god, those are some crunchy wrists. But we did it though. We got there. Could I like... Hang on, I've got an idea. Object. Okay, convert layer. Type image material layer. Tiling. Okay. I feel like this is a very interesting pattern, but like it needs to be a slightly different color so it doesn't like overcrowd. Okay, rasterize, and then Control U. Actually, no, we can use the what do you call it, the gradient map for this. I like this one. This one feels nice, but let's keep shopping around a little. Okay. Yeah, no, I think it's got to be this one. I'm very happy with how this came out. Alright, I am proud to put my signature down here. I gotta keep a consistent track of like the number of lines I put after my names on the signature. Also, it's gonna, I've already had a couple people making jokes about like, oh hey, so are you like Paps the Third? And then like if I keep adding lines, I wonder if they'll be like, are you Paps the Fourth? And then I'll be like, no, actually maybe that's the way to combat it then, because like if I add a fourth line here, they'll think like, oh well, that can't be like 3. That'd be like a tally mark almost, and that makes no sense. Who am I kidding? This was a losing battle from the start. People are going to see what they're going to want to see no matter what, so I might as well just have fun with the way I do it. Ooh, dark red works really good. Actually, I wonder if there was a... Okay, so... Filter, blur, Gaussian blur. Strengthen that a little bit. Clip that to the bottom, to the layer beneath, and then darken that quite a bit. I kind of like it with like the bluer tones. I'll have to work on it in certain places though. But yeah, I think it certainly suits it much more than the just plain black. Just in a couple of places I'll have to tone it down a bit. But yeah, I am very happy with how this piece came out. Alright. I think we're just gonna close out stream here, actually. I am quite beat. Alright, so I'll be doing a Just Chatting stream on Saturday. That's gonna be, I think that's probably gonna be something like a Wikipedia deep dive. I'm just gonna kind of keep clicking around Wikipedia articles until I get bored. Which, I will warn you, will probably take quite a while. I am quite the Wikipedia fiend. In the meantime, I hope you all have a great Thursday. I hope your weekend's a banger, and I will see you all later. Bye.